Hi everyone. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a good day. In this session, share about the strategic alliances and networks. In this session, we will cover the definition of strategic alliances and networks, octopus strategy, the complementary capabilities and embedded technologies, forms of strategic alliance, successful strategic alliance, and also the risk and also the limitation with the strategic alliance. So let's start. So the definition, what we meant with strategic alliances. So as stated here in the slide, strategic alliances are agreement between many parties, two or more independent companies to cooperate in the manufacturing, development, or sale of products and services or other business objectives. Basically, it's based on the mutual interest, based on the business objective. Although they are working together, cooperating, but each company maintains its autonomy while gaining a new opportunity. Just take a normal example. We have two companies, company A and company B. So they combine their respective resources. It can be resources, capabilities, and core competencies, or one of the elements. It can be more than one, or it can be all the elements to generate mutual interest in designing, manufacturing, or distributing goods or services in whatever the business is. So it means that they have a collaboration, they have an engagement with outside parties. So this is the example of Starbucks. I know many of you may be a die-hard fan of the Starbucks. So there is a deal between Starbucks and Barnes and Noble. Now, this is the classic example actually. Okay, so if we look at the story here, so Starbucks partnered with Barnes and Noble's bookstores in 1993 to provide in-house coffee shops, benefiting both retailers. So there is coffee shops in bookstores. So the people who came to buy the book can drink the coffee. And people who want to look, actually looking for the cafe, they forced to see the books. So there's a benefiting both parties. In '96, Starbucks partnered with PepsiCo to bottle, distribute, and sell the popular coffee-based drink Frappuccino. So they partnered. So both of them got the marketing. And Starbucks United Airlines has resulted in their coffee being offered on flights with the Starbucks logo on the cups. So of course, behind of this story, partner, cooperate, so they have mutual interest. They are going to increase their benefit or their profits, and also the marketing strategy, and things go so. So this is the example of the strategic alliance. So why they need, why we need, why people need, or the company needs the strategic alliance. So there's many factors, so we're going to just cover brief here. Some of the factors that prevent many firms to achieve their strategic objectives are these three. So it's been generally accepted that lack of resources, okay, the company, one own company, they may have a limitation of resources, maybe expertise or facilities, equipment, or lack of capital for R&D activity. Because they want to take their business to the next level. If you're working in your company, you may imagine this kind of thing in your company. You want to improve the product design. You want to improve the function of the products. You want to add more value added to your company's products or services. So you need research, right? So not all companies are able to continuously doing research, because sometimes, especially in this pandemic, COVID pandemic 19, with many challenges, the company is struggling to do profit. So do you think they're going to set aside the money, okay, for R&D. See, but at the same time, even their normal business is not running, right? So, okay, lack of capital for R&D activities, lack of sufficient technical capabilities to adapt to fast-paced market dynamics. Okay, so we have the the technology-related equipment, handphones, computers, softwares. So it's rapidly changing. So you need to quickly adapt to the market environment with the function, with the what being offered by your competitor. If not, you're going to lose it. So this is most of the time are the factors that prevent many firms to achieve their strategic objective. And it can also make them lost in the battle in the market, local market or global market. So lack of resources. So how you're going to overcome this problem? Okay. So one of the good strategy is strategic alliance. So win-win, usually we need to see the mutual interest. Maybe you have the capabilities, you have the ideas, but you don't have money. So you're going to find people, your partner, who can together to bring the ideas to the market. Okay, so you have the demand, you have the customers, but you don't have the capital for it. So maybe you have another party, maybe it can be your competitor, maybe. Okay, they have the capital, but they don't have the things that you have. Okay, so you come together, merge the both, so it's like a gaining together. I hope you understand this. And there's more factors we can decide, and even you can think of many of the reasons behind this strategic alliance. So in this table, there is a 12 reasons and also examples for the reason for entering a strategic alliance. Okay, you can read, you can go through one by one. Okay, just take one example, one or two examples here. Reasons to improve access to capital and new business. So one of the reasons it can be to improve the access to capital. Okay, capital and also new business. So European Airbus to enable companies to compete with Boeing and McDonnell-Douglas. Greater technical critical mass. Okay, technical critical mass. So there is an example here: alliance LG Philips between Philips of the Netherlands and LG Electronics of Korea. Provide access to Philips technology and lower the manufacturing cost in Korea. So they're able to lower the manufacturing cost. What else? The other reasons: shared risk and the liability. What are the examples? Sony Ericsson, a joint venture between two electronics firms to try to dominate mobile phone handset market. Okay, so the joint venture between two electronics means that they share the risk and liability, but at the same time, they also share the profits, right? So if anything goes wrong, instead of they are doing it alone, maybe let's say they are going to lose 1 million because of the failure of the project, but by having it, leveraged or being divided because two companies, right? So instead of losing 1 million, they just lose 500,000. It's minimize the risk. So better relationship with strategic partner, European Airbus, technology transfer, customer supplier alliances like VW and Bosch. You can Google it, you can read the story, and you may have different examples based on the reasons given here. To reduce the R&D cost, GEC and Siemens 60-40 share of telecommunication joint venture. Okay, so they reduce instead of 100%, so they share 60-40. Okay, use of distribution skills, Pixar and Disney, Waitrose and Ocado. Okay, so how they utilize their existing expertise and many more. Access to marketing strength, access to technology, standardization here, byproduct utilization, and management skill. And this is all the examples. I mean, specific examples. And it may have it may not have the detailed story, but you can look for it if you want. So this is the general flowchart or process to form the strategic alliances. Basically, it start with the selection of the suitable partner, okay, and negotiate each other's need. Of course, going to take care, consider the technical knowledge, the commercial knowledge, and I believe they have more. Okay, it depends on the companies and things, and then you're going to proceed with those kind of maybe a written, maybe you have a document, written agreement, and then the management to a collaboration. And you're going to always continue to ensure both parties are benefited. And once it's done, you're going to repeat the cycle to check where you can improve and things goes. So basically, selection of the suitable partner, this is most difficult part because, you need to identify exactly what you have and what you can offer to the other party, and the other party can offer things that you don't have or you are weak on, or things that you need help. Okay. And next, this is we're going to explain. I'm going to explain here about the octopus strategy. Okay, octopus strategy is actually an important concept in innovation management, where the alliances happen among a wide range of companies. We're going to see the example to give you a better understanding on this. Cooperation on expensive new technology and product, when the cost of risk of going alone, okay, of going alone is too high. Okay, so you want to manufacture a car, okay, and then if you want to do everything, from the design, raw material, all the component, all the compartment, all everything, it means that you're going alone. So the risk is too high, and also the cost is too high. So how you identify which part that you are going to focus, which part that may be given to other people or other stakeholders to be done. Okay, so we have many living examples. So of course, the competitive advantage often resides in sets of firms acting together, like European Airbus Strategic Alliances, VHS Alliance between GVC, Sharp, Toshiba, and RCA. So this is the global example. So this is what we say octopus strategy. We can see why we say octopus, right? So let's say this is the example of IBM product, So IBM, they outsource or they identify who's going to do what for their product. So they identify Toshiba to develop LCD technology. Just a minute. Okay, so continue the example. Sorry for the disturbance. So octopus strategy, the Toshiba to develop LCD technology for IBM, and Microsoft to develop the software, Siemens to develop the memory technology, Hewlett Packard to develop operating system for the workstations, Cisco System to develop security system, Real Networks to develop online digital services, okay, and Infineon to develop microchip technology. So this is the example. Things may be different from what currently they are doing, but this is the example. So for this IBM, okay, they have identified partners, suppliers, peoples, organizations who can work together with them. So they have Toshiba, Microsoft, Siemens, Packard, Cisco System, Real Network, and Infineon to play their roles. Okay? So this is what we call octopus strategy. So another example of Proton. So we may not touch all the single components, all the details, but to give you a brief idea, okay? So for Proton, for car, Proton, so the body part is Miyazu, okay? The airbag system, Takata, the lubricants, Petronas, you know, the car tire, Continental, and the engine, the transmission engine by Lotus, and they may have more. They may have more, right? So Proton is not doing everything. So this is what we call octopus strategy. So you can manage the resources, and you know you're going to work together with different organization, different companies, and it can be maybe can be your competitors. Okay. So another example on iPhone. Okay, so it's not in the diagram of the octopus diagram, but you see we have about 11 company involved in making this iPhone. Okay, and even the cross country. Okay, and this is the explanation of the part. So we have Samsung in Korea, focusing on CPU video processing chips. Infineon in Singapore. Not sure why it's in Singapore. We also have Infineon here. So baseband communication hardware, Primax Electronic, and Taiwan is dominating with several companies, 3, 4, 5, 6 companies in Taiwan, and they have their own focus, digital camera, internal security, connector, Bluetooth chipsets, printed circuit board, stainless metal casings, and so on. And we have Broadcom, Marvel, USA, touch screen controller, and also some specific parts here. And then Apple, okay, Apple company. Although we know iPhone is from Apple, Shenzhen, China, assembly. So they are doing the assembly, stocks, packs, and chips. Okay, so and you say Apple is from, I mean iPhone is from Apple, but you see there's another 10 companies from different countries are involved. And the information maybe now we have more updated information maybe, but this is the example for you to understand this octopus strategy. So some explanation on this. So collaborating with competitors has been found to be an effective way of creating both incremental and radical innovations, especially in high-tech industries. Developing external linkage is necessary because historically regions of the world have developed skills and competencies in certain areas. So for based on the region, here you can see some examples. European countries are expert in developing science-based innovation. So they're doing research maybe. American firms expert in development of market innovation. And Japanese and Asian firms have extensive skill in process improvement. Okay, the quality, the cost, efficiency, so on. So why we have many companies, okay, from abroad, from USA or other developed countries, but they open up their branches or their factories in Asia, right? So this is the tangled web of alliance between car manufacturers. So they are in the same business. All of them are competitors, okay, but they are contributing or selling or buying from each other. So you can see here. So what are the benefits of the octopus strategy? So since we know the concept, so you should be able to think, okay, but just for the sake of explaining, so we have some as listed here. So it's able to offer existing skills. Okay, you have your, some parties, certain parties got their skills, expertise that they can offer to other parties. Okay, able to offer knowledge and technology, and able to create hybrid technologies. Okay, bioelectronic, biochemical products, mechatronic products. You know, it's a hybrid technologies. If not, we're going to just have mechanical, then it's just mechanical. Okay, but we have mechanical and mechatronics. So it's mechanical and electronics. So we can mechatronics, biological and mechanical. So we have hybrid technologies. Okay, and the octopus strategy also allow the exchange of technology itself, and allow the exchange of skills and know-how. So, and I believe we have more. Okay, we have more benefits that we can think of and we can discuss further. But just next, go to the types of forms of the strategic alliance. So we have forms of strategic alliance, licensing, supplier relations, outsourcing, joint venture, collaboration, R&D consortia, industry cluster, and innovation networks. So what is this? These are the type of strategic alliance, okay, that we are going to cover quickly. So the first one is licensing. Okay, this is the well-established method of acquiring technology. Okay, this element of learning required by licensee and the licensor perform the role of trainer. Okay, what is the best example of this? Can you think of? Okay, if you like your what software, so you use your AutoCAD software, SolidWorks software, SPSS software, whatever the software, including your Microsoft Word. So it's licensed. You can't just get it anywhere. Okay, I mean there's many pirate things, so that's unethical, right? But license means that you need to buy the license. You're going to get the key license, and then you can use the specific software. Okay, like in university here, UTM, let's say we subscribe to the let's say AutoCAD software. So we pay per license per user. Okay, or sometimes we need to refer to their package. Maybe one license for 2 students, 2 users, 3 users, so it's based on package. But let's say one license, 1 user. So we have students, many students. One laboratory session, we may need about 30 to 40. So we bought 40 licenses, right? It's very expensive, okay? Maybe 40, 50,000 for the licenses. So once we bought a license, they are going to come and give training, because free training. Actually, it's not free. It's embedded to the licensing cost, of course, sometimes. So they come and give some training, and then you now be able to use the the license, the software, let's say AutoCAD. Okay. So if we, the university, want to develop the AutoCAD, the system, the technology, so when we are going to teach, you know, so sometimes it's already established out there and it's improving. It's have a version, new version, and it's keep improving, updating the company, right? So so we just use that technology to share with our students, and later on when they go to the work, so in the company, if the companies, okay, the companies where they was offered the job have the similar technology, then they can adapt themselves to the software. So that's the licensing. And sometimes they have their renewals period. You need to renew maybe after 1 year, after 2 years. Okay, so it depends on the package. So what are the advantages? Speed of entry to different technologies. Okay, so if we want to develop the software just now, you know, it's very difficult. But speed of entry. So you have version 2000, and then you have version 2001, 2002, now 2021 maybe. So speed of entry to different technologies, and reduce cost of technology development, you know, and potential problems such as neglect of internal technology. So that's the first one. The second one is supplier relations. Okay. It's basically based on cost benefits to suppliers, such as lower the production cost if supplier modifies a component to fit easily into company products. So rather than creating or developing a new, okay. So it's reduced the R&D expenses that are related to material or component where the supplier would involve in testing and experimental using their facilities. And of course, it will reduce the material flow to reduce inventories through delivery, schedule, and lot sizes, and reduce administration costs through the integrated. Yes. So it consists of number of levels. At simplest level, a good customer relationship established through additional discount. Maybe the first time you are dealing with your supplier, then you're going to get some discounts. There, you are not really too close, but when you getting closer to them, you're going to get services for unusual equipment like special deliveries and holding additional stocks and etc. Okay, so this is the basic level, simplest level. The next level, it involves closer or working relationship where supplier involved in sharing experience, even they're closer to you to share the experience how to use the certain equipment or machineries and things, expertise and knowledge, and also investment, especially for the new product, which finally will establish a long-term relationship with an agreement. Okay. Next, outsourcing. So third form of strategic alliance is outsourcing. I think we are familiar with this term. Refers to the delegation of non-core operation to an external entity specializing in the management of that operations. Okay, means that you should do 3 or 4 items. Okay, it have some similarities to to the octopus strategy that we have discussed. Okay, and then you outsource it to other people, to other company that have the same expertise as you. Okay. What are the reason? Lowering firms' operation costs, redirecting energy at the competencies of a particular business, or to make more efficient use of labor, capital, and technology and resources. Okay. So maybe your company, your main core business is doing manufacturing of product A. Okay. Suddenly there is a demand for doing product B, which it's not your core, it's just your side. No? But since if you are focusing on the side business, I mean the secondary business of in your company, so you may need to neglect or avoid some important part or important demands, important orders of your primary business. So you outsource the second. Okay, so you will lower the firm's operation cost at the same time. Okay, so it's basically on planning. And this outsource involves transferring or sharing the management control even. Okay, because when you outsource, you have no control anymore to the products or things that they are, because like you place order and then you're going to get it, and then you're going to sell the product as you do. Okay, so you you also have less management control or decision making of business function to outside suppliers. So it's sharing the management control with them, the decision making of business function to outside suppliers. So this is the third one. The fourth is joint venture. Okay, a separate legal entity which the partners to the alliance, normally being equity shareholder, and cost and possible benefit from R&D and project would be shared and established for a specific project. Actually, you identify a specific project and will choose on its completion. So usually joint venture based on project. It's not like a long-term effort. Yeah, it can be long-term based on the duration period of the project. We have collaboration. Okay, here is joint venture for per project. Collaboration, you collaborate. Okay, and usually it's absent of the legal entity, and it provides for the opportunity to extend the cooperation over time, if so desired. Okay, so to extend the cooperation over time frequently occurs in many supplier relationships, and many university departments work closely with the firm on a wide variety of research. Usually, like a company, and they collaborate with the academia, the research center, or the university. Okay, the company. So usually there is a collaboration. Okay, so the university gives the research findings, the students for practical, the staff attachment, whatever it is, right? So you collaborate in terms of activity, and the company will give the technology sharing to the students. In terms of design, improving their product, maybe they can join together with the research, the staff from university, they can give input to the company. And the company can share it back to the universities, to the students through research, and sometimes they can work together to get the government grants, right? grants. And then number 6 is R&D consortia. A consortium, they describe the situation where a number of firms come together to undertake a large-scale activity. Okay, the purpose of R&D consortia is to share the R&D cost, to share the R&D risk. Usually, pooling the scarce expertise, equipment, performing pre-competitive research, and setting a standard. So many firms, okay, where a number of firms come together to undertake a scale activity. So if there's one company, they may not able to do a big project, so big scale activity, but when they come together, they can work as a one consortium. And we have industry clusters. Okay, clusters are geographic concentration of interconnected companies, specialized suppliers, service providers, and